and then come to seated in a comfortable position. So just notice as you release the hips to the earth and have a slightly either neutral or downcast gaze where or how the spine rises from the pelvis. So hopefully you've all been doing your summer gardening or at least observing plants. And so the stem of the spine is like the stem of the plant. So it's important to exhale and root down into the legs, energetically releasing the legs to the ground. And if your seat, whatever it is not rooted, it's not comfortable. In other words, you're sitting, you're like, oh, this is great, this yoga, but you're really pulling out the roots because of inflexibility, then modify with props. So dropping those roots of the legs down, and then with the eyes closed, following the breath. Encouraging, I use that word in a way that's kind, so not trying to get rigid or forcibly lengthen the spine, but encouraging a floating length of the spine. So just if you were to shift back and forth now, you're opening your eyes to see what I'm doing, and extension and flexion. So the spine can move just like the stem of a plant. And we'll exhale going back, and we'll inhale come forward. And the movement of the lower spine with the pelvis is informative. So see whether you can feel any weighting more on one side. Typically it would be the right side would be tight and locked. And the left side maybe a little bit loose, a little bit weak. And so if we lean back for a second and just cross the right leg over the ankle over the left knee and just breathe here. And try to equalize the two pelvic halves. Advanced students could clasp or bring yourself a little closer. But if you force the pose too much, you'll lose the awareness down in the roots. This is always the first priority, is to get your low back and your hips released. Normally we do this pose on our backs, we lay back, but you lose the sense of the sitting bones. Okay, so let's come back to cross-legged. Well, some of you who are not knee in comfort can double pigeon up the right leg on top. Otherwise, do the necessary, put it underneath. And let's just do a little rotation to the left. You can take your right hand to your right hip and push it down. Let's try the other side, just crossing figure 4, checking it out. So the left shin is on top of the right. So this is, you can do these simple movements even when you're relaxing. Just check it out. Okay, well, how are the two pelvic halves kind of move a little space forward in that left hip? And when the roots are set, then the plant spine can feel like it's comfortable. Something's off in the low back, then everything above it will be affected. Then we come down, and those that have knee issues, don't push that upper knee down. Maybe just take the left foot and slide it under the right knee. But eventually you can do a double pigeon. You can take your left hand down your left hip. Just push and rotate. It's good. So let's take our towel roll to mid-back And now we're going to work on this structure in the mid-back that we'll have a strap against, and a little bit into the low back before we get racy. So let's take that towel roll to about the low shoulder blade tip level. Goalpost the arms out. Keep the knees bent for now. Now if you find that your head isn't getting to the floor or it's too much towel roll, then modify. And let's just kind of scrub up and down on that towel roll. So pushing with the feet like you're going to slide over the towel roll, pulling with the heels. And this can be the inhale, pulling, and the exhale, pushing. So the pelvis starts to rock forward and back. We get a little bit of a massage on the mid-back. Let's take the knees over to the right and the head to the left. Start to push a little bit with the left foot. Push a little forward with the left knee to the back right corner of your mat. Stretching the psoas. Come to center, switch. The knees go over to the left, the gaze to the right. And then start to just push the right knee over to the back left corner of the mat. So that right hip lifts off the ground. Do it another time on your own, and you can move fluidly, or you can stop and prod sticky areas. Once you've found the connection, it's nice to just flow a little bit from side to side, and you're getting a little back rub in the bargain on that towel roll. So let's launch ourselves a little bit further over the towel roll by crawling the arms like a backstroker back over the towel roll. See if you can rock from left to right and just slide the towel roll down to your low back by lifting your hips and setting the towel roll into the sacrum. And then we're going to pull the knees in to the body. Give them a squeeze. Now if we take that figure four like we just did on our back in midair, with the right shin across the left knee, and then take our hands and thread them around that front shin. Now you can really see, maybe you can look toward your right foot and knee and see if this right knee is hiked up high. If you're skillful, you can keep your left hand on your left shin, but use your right hand as I was doing earlier. Just push against that right hip a little bit. And then let's lay the figure four down in front of us like a bridge pose. And just let the arms rest. Extra credit, take an inhale and exhale. Curl the tailbone off the towel roll and lift up to a figure four bridge. Exhale, come down. Your figure four. Roll to the left, landing the right foot on the ground. You feel the towel roll on that left hip a little bit, outer hip, and then roll your gaze to the right. Easy twist. Again, the left hand could go to the right hip this time and press that right hip away from you a little bit. Little traction. Go easy as we just warm up. Coming back to center, hovering, crossing the left shin over the right. You can pull the figure four package toward you by threading your left arm through the legs, right arm around. And instead of thinking of pulling so much, experience pushing away, lengthening away. And you can take your left hand to your left hip, top of the hip, and just push it, traction it away. I'm going to lay that figure four structure forward, sacrum still on the towel roll,
And you can just hang out. If you've got some low back issues, your hands could go to your upper legs, gently push. Or you could come up toward bridge pose, lifting the hips. And then come down and roll the figure forward to the right. Maybe grabbing the left ankle with your right hand and then roll from the mid-back the opposite direction. So again, the amount of twist is dictated by the safety of the hips and the low back. So once again, a contraction of my low back, my left hip. I can push with my right hand in this case to move some space. Okay. Let's come back to center and lift the hips up to bridge pose. Both of them, normal bridge. Slide the tailbone toward the knees. Start to fire up the legs a little bit, backs of the legs. And then using one of your hands, take the towel roll out and roll off to one side to come up to grab your strap. So that has hopefully warmed up the mid-back, and now we'll take the strap, I'll turn my back to you for instructive purposes, not out of rudeness. And you can see with the strap is across my shoulder blade tips, and then I kick, say the right leg, as I was showing earlier. When you're a wall, you get the added benefit pushing your left leg into the wall. So let's take this back, take a little ride back by bending the right knee, holding the strap, and it's pretty high up. And now see if you can create a right angle with the right leg extended to the sky. If this is too much, loosen the strap or slightly bend the right knee. Okay, let's reach up to the straps, way up with the arms. The arms are long, the leg is long, and I've got it around the ball mount on my right foot so I can use that as a micro adjuster of how much pressure. Inhale, pull the right knee down toward the right shoulder. Using the arms on the strap, exhale, push with the leg. We've done this before. I'm just pumping that right leg and bending the right knee and then straightening. So the pulling with the arms, the elbows come out, and feel the shoulder blades retracting together. Exhale, they get protracted apart as the leg straightens. Let's keep that right leg straightened. You can either grab the strap ends in the right hand or let both arms lay down and just start to let the strap go over to the right. So it's pulling on this left rib cage. And adjust the strap as necessary so it's comfortable. So we're opening, think of opening the legs like scissors, opening the arms, and if we were standing, this would be extended leg, or we move it out to the side. You can look in the opposite direction. Inhale that right leg up to the sky and let the left hand take either the straps and take the leg over to the left, or if you're comfortable, the arms are stretched out on the floor and you just use the leg to gently push, push, and work, open these back ribs. We'll come back to center, and if you're skillful, you can put both feet in the strap like so, and let the arms be long. You can kick the right foot out, the left leg is left, attenuating and lengthening, and then we'll reach to the strap ends with both hands and push and pull. The arms and elbows come out, and then kicking and straightening the left leg, feeling the left hip, and the knee and the foot, all the muscles that are working, and feeling the shoulder blades retract as you pull the elbows apart, pull the knee toward left shoulder, and then kick up. So both legs are moving away from one another, and you can either let your arms lay out or grab the strap ends for extra support and take that left leg out to the left. Again, if you were doing this standing, the right leg would be firm and we would be letting the gaze roll the opposite direction. Find the right amount of connection to your body without torturing yourself. Then come up and go the other way. So the left leg goes to the right. You could be holding a little bit with the right hand, the strap ends. Pushing into the strap allows you to connect the dots. Come back to center. We can take both feet into the strap again. And the arms come out. Now we're going to take and use the arms, as I showed earlier. If you weren't here and you haven't done this before, take a peek. Take the arms wide, come around the strap forward, and then the hands come up through the circle of the strap, the inner circle, and then I push the palms forward and hook the thumbs under the strap. So then now I bend the knees, take the feet out, and I've got the strap up to the sky, and I can reach back to the floor. Keep your knees bent, your feet down. Inhale, start to lengthen. Bring the arms further overhead. And exhale, bring the strap back up to the sky. Inhale, glide the arms back, lift the chest, little arch the low back. Draw the shoulder blades down the spine. Exhale, press the arms straight up to the sky. Just start to move here. If you want to add a piece, you can hover the shins like a dead bug. Glide the shins a little bit away as you reach the arms back and exhale. Pull them toward you. Use your breath to lengthen and fill on inhale, and to exhale, tone the deep core. Now, can everybody come up to like a dead bug, hovering shins and arms, and just inhale the arms to the right, the knees to the left, exhale to center. Inhale the other way. Cross twist. And see if you can notice what the ribs are doing, opening and closing. Good. Now let's take the feet down, the arms back to the floor. Big inhale. Now exhale. Start to lift the hips off the ground and move the knees away from you. Move the tailbone away from you. Rich pose with extended arms. Draw the shoulder blades down the back a little bit. And counter motion to the spreading wide the upper tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale, come down, hands raise up to the sky, and then you're gonna bring your feet into the strap again. Extend the legs. And then grabbing the strap end with both hands, bending the knees, and a couple of things you can do here. One, you can bend the knees. And then start to take them wide. So we're starting to come into a Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet will start to move together, the knees wide. And just gently pull the elbows apart. And then you can start to look at your feet, and as you inhale, allow the feet to glide further over your head, and exhale back away from you. Just massaging that fascia of the low back. Go easy. About a third of the way up to the back to the tailbone. Okay. Straighten the legs again. Again, you're going to loop your arms up and around from outside to inside, bend your knees, and drop the feet down. This time straightening the legs, lifting the arms like a big yawn overhead. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, pull your left knee toward you and bring the strap toward the left knee. Kick the left leg long, the arms long. Exhale, right knee comes toward you, and letting your strap loop move toward that knee. And just start to go for a little walk. And if you want a little extra credit, as the knee comes up, as the strap comes up, you lift your head up. Kneel back and get even straighten the leg. So leaving the legs long, the arms reach back, big stretch, big arch. And then exhale. This time the head comes, the arms come forward, the head comes up, and you start to come all the way up to seated. You can try that a few times by reaching up, inhale. From seated, exhale, push forward. Keep your spine rounded and glide back, your chin tucked. Inhale, reach back to the floor. Exhale, forward, curl. Push, push, push. Come forward. Inhale, reach, exhale, drop back. There's also a trick of pulling with the legs when you come up. Inhale, the legs are long. Exhale, the strap comes up. Bend your knees, pull the heels back toward you. Good. Now I'll face you and just take the strap with bent knees around the feet again, both of them, and then pull the feet up. Okay? So Navasana with the strap. And up we go, finding your core. You can have your knees bent if you're a little stiffer. But now we've integrated the lower body to the upper body. So it's possible to bring the arms up. Stay here for about 45 minutes and you'll start to hallucinate. Just kidding. Okay, let's come up and see what we can do. Taking the strap loop now in front of us, like we're going to play jump rope and stand on it. And then reach down and take the hands down. And then just gently pull and take Tadasana. So look down at your feet, lift your toes, and toe your legs. Step through the strap and bring it up your back. And we'll do what we did on our backs. So just like came out of the shower, and then one hand under, and a hand under, and then lift up and sink to chair pose. This is lifting in the same way we had, and you're pushing back against the strap a little bit. And then sink down, clamp your knees together. So it's a very dynamic and strong structure. And then inhale, up, and exhale, drop, strap down, switch the hands like so, stand on it, same thing, Tadasana. Reach down, grab, pull, and hug the shoulders to the main frame of the body. Look down, you're on a diving board, ready to dive, and push the toe mounts down between the backs of the legs. So let's do a little bit of work more with the legs, and step off your strap for a moment, and let's take it back into the back heel. So let's take the left heel. If you have a wall, you can go against the wall with the heel. Pretty modest warrior one. And we're going to take our hands and hold the strap ends. So you should be able to bend the front knee like this and firm up the back leg, the left leg, and start to lean down. Let the shoulder blades flare across the back. So you're getting a stretch from the mid-back to the crown of the head. Then as you inhale, pull on the strap ends and the elbows to lift the chest. Exhale, come down. You just start to pump into that front leg. Now we're working the back extensors. And so don't get too rough with your arms, pushing and pulling, but feel the glide of the shoulder blades together and then apart. And the tone of the back leg is really holding everything together pretty nicely. Now can we come up straight in the front leg and take both ends of the strap into the left hand, pivot that left foot to 90, turn the front toes to set up for a triangle pose. So I'm holding the strap ends in my left hand, my right hand comes up. You start to go down into a triangle pose, but not much of one. And it's held by the back leg and strap. So I can either take the standard pose or just drop my head and let the neck get a nice stretch. We get another chance to do standard Trikonasana in a moment. And then coming up. Can we try the other side? Step the feet together, switch the right heel into the strap. If you have a wall, you can take it back to the wall. And so square the hips off, take the hands to each strap end, and walk them down and just be able to bend into that front knee. So depending on your situation of your body, you might be working very small. You're super yogi, you're working deep. And you're just pushing and pulling, pull, recoil, exhale, stretch. The back leg's really toning. So it's like a tether to allow you to stretch. You can also feel many things. The front hip is being able to bend and not get loaded with weight. That left hip doesn't have quite as much weight as it might. And that's nice because we can feel where it should be in space, up to the midline. Arms and legs getting a workout. Let's collect both ends into the strap into the right hand. Pivot a little to the right. The right foot's at 90. Set up triangle pose. So all the limbs, aside from that back arm, are attenuating. It's opening like a starfish. And then you can just place the hands below the knee. You can also bend the front knee. You can also just, again, lean forward from this tether. I like to just drop my head and stretch the upper traps along the neck, sternomastoid, because you're going to do standard tree in a second. Standard Trikonasana. It's good. So let's come up and try the upper body a little bit and warrior one. And we'll take the strap loop around us again and the arms around. And if you get confused, the first few times you always do, got the strap ends, one hand comes up, outside and then inside, and then the thumbs are pushing. So let's do a little warrior one from here. Come to the front of your mat and come to chair pose. Step back with the left foot, plugging into the wall if you have it, and then sink in. Now we've got similar to what we had before, with the leg structure, but how does it feel? You feel the push into the wall. If you want to challenge yourself, you can start to lean forward. But now you don't have the tether. You have to imagine you have it. Advanced students are welcome to pop up into Warrior 3. When you've got the structures in place, it's not a big deal. Let's bring the feet together. Drop the strap down the back heels. Stand on the strap, pulling. Tailbone down, legs attenuated. Step forward, drop up the back, and find that loop, that magic loop. You can take into Utkatasana. Step back with the right foot, Warrior 2. And attenuating that back leg, just like we did before, allows this front hip not to be so loaded. Now, as you come forward, you can feel, and you go up and down if you want, it's a strength move. Eventually, you'll be able to launch up. Feet together, release, drop the strap to your heels, and penguin body or soldier body. Roll the shoulders back and then hug the shoulders into the mainframe. So now we're going to take the strap around both heels and kick out. It used to be this kid's toy. I forget what it's called, but you kind of had it around one foot and you had to sling it. Someone knows, they can tell me after class. But it allowed people to have a sense of something around an ankle. And now we have the strap just in front of the heel. And so you should feel as you push out into the strap that the legs are toned, which is the way it should feel all the time in this Prasarita. Let's bend the knees a little, hands to hips, inhale. Exhale and start to dive in. Fingertips to ground or put your hands on a chair if you need to. Again, the knees are slightly bent, inner thighs rolling back, and then drop the head. Keep the legs toning and pushing from the hips through the knees, through the feet, stretching the strap, maybe holding ankles. And then come to a flat back. Can you bend into your left knee? And then can you bend into your right? And just go back and forth, Skandasana, as little or as much as you want. Then coming to a flat back, knees slightly bent, tailbone down, hands to hips, and come up. So, a little tricky, so follow me through. Now we're gonna turn the right toes forward and bend the knee, reach for the strap and pull it up that right hip. Get a little wider, so I have the strap up the front leg into the hip crease. And now I'm coming into Warrior 2. Make sure your strap loop or buckle is not in your leg pulling. So here, I got a deep lunge supported by the back leg and now run the front hip. I'm gonna just take this left wrist and pull it with the right hand on the diagonal like we're a kite surfer. And you just do this, pull, and then the arm resists. Just wait a minute, no thanks. And then wait, the right hand pulls, and then I retract. So we're getting a little workout with the shoulder, left shoulder, strong. Since we don't have our gyms to go to, we'd be pulling on a, if you want to do it this way, we'd be pulling on a weight, pulling it back, and then it pulls us. And then look, oh, yoga pose, side angle. And breathe. And then let's come up. And bend your knees a little bit and take your feet parallel. Can we come back to where we started with the strap down around that right heel? And now we're going to take our triangle as promised with all these attenuations. So the legs are pushing out into the strap. You've got awareness from the strap around this front hip. So remember, it was getting pulled back by the strap. Oh, we can do triangle pose now. And the upper arm is lengthening and also getting a slight retraction back into the body. A long-winded way to get to triangle, but there you have it. One more forward fold with parallel feet. Let's go down. Hands to hips, flat back, and exhale, come up. So let's try the other side, and I'm not going to shift my position because I don't want to lose a visual with you. But we're going to reach down, so we bend the knees, and take that strap in the left leg up to the left hip. Up in the hip holster, this inguinal area where the psoas is. Lengthen the legs a little to warrior two, just hang out. And you're really still keeping force into the right leg so you can just gently be held. Now remember this thing, I was reaching on the diagonal, the right arm and pulling back. Or using your hand, great resistance. So why the heck is Dan making us do this? Because normally people come into this pose and they have no awareness of what's going on in the shoulder. But now as you come down into it, you feel that there's an equal contrasting reach and retraction. Reach, inhale, exhale, retraction, reach. So endless use of the breath to go as deep as I want. Then come up. Turn, feet parallel. Bend the knees. Slide the left strap down around that left heel again. Turn the feet back the same direction to the left. And same place that got pulled. Left hip sets up. Trikonasana. And the upper arm is really engaged, like you're grabbing a tree branch. Now come up. One more wide-legged forward fold. Lengthen and fold. And bend your knees. This time, as you come to a flat back, walk your hands forward like you're doing a downward dog with your arms to drop your head within. Push your heels out into the strap. Soften your knees and lengthen the upper body from the structure of the leg. So if we somehow had two straps and one was around the arms, the way we've been doing the arm opener, can you feel that as you come up on your fingertips? The armpits open, shoulder blades open. Walk the hands back toward you under the shoulders, come to a flat back. Inhale, soften the knees, take the hands and hips, and then coming up. It's good. You're probably totally sick of the strap. So we'll take the strap aside for the moment and just flow a little bit, because normally people do these attenuations, they don't see the value in coming back into an unstrapped body. Everything now as you stand, as you close your eyes, all the connections now. Let's just move a little normally, as normal yoga students do, and feel if these postures are easier. Coming into chair, as if the strap were there. And then exhale, folding, left foot back. Warrior one, as if the strap was still up. Bowing forward a little bit, exhale. Inhale, coming up. Opening to warrior two. Reversing warrior, inhale as if the strap were pulling the right hip back, side angle, exhale as if you're stretching, and slight contraction. Inhale, come up, feet to parallel, hands to hips, dive in, pushing heels out, grabbing ankles or whatever you can grab. Inhale, flat back, exhale, hands to hips, coming up, spin the feet forward. Remember, we have the strap in the back heel. Take the arms back. Bend the front knee. How deep can you go now? Can you release your hands to the floor, straighten the front leg. Fold out over the front leg. Beginners, you're just going to look forward and the front knee and step the back foot to the front. Advanced folks coming into an L, standing L. Maybe Ardha Chandrasana, left hand to hip. Stretch the heels apart as if the strap were still there. Stretch the arms apart as the strap was around the arm, upper arm carriage. Everything's opening and strong. And then feet together, forward fold. Bend the knees, chair pose, and standing. Take a free breath. Drop the arms, inhale, chair. Again, as if the strap are pulling the shoulder blades up. Fold, right foot back, warrior one. Remember the sensation of the strap. Maybe a little lean forward and up again. Open warrior two. Stretch the feet apart as if the strap were there. Reverse warrior, inhale. You come into side angle, left hip's being pulled back by an imaginary strap. And launch the pose. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet to parallel. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Not back. Hands to hips, exhale. Inhale, come up. Spin the feet to the front of the mat. Make it a little short if you need to. Remember the strap, pull, bend the front knee, and then launch the hands to the ground, pull. And then beginners, just step the back foot to the front for forward fold, otherwise lift up to a standing split, more like a standing L. Open the legs as if the strap are around the heels, pushing the heels apart. Right hand to hip. And then brighten from that area of the shoulder blades. Opening the wingspan. And then closing, forward fold. Take the feet out like a duck, sit down in Malasana. Let the low back have a little rest. And then if you can get the elbows inside the knees, the palms to the heart. And then having a seat. Stretching the legs forward. Tadasana, hands by the hips. So normally, without straps, the pressure of the thumbs and index fingers down lifts the chest up. We've been using the strap almost like a farmer lifting the armpits up. And then the arms are connected to that attenuation as you fold, bending the knees if you need to, and pulling up against your bind. You might have strap, but it's the same connection as we had at the beginning of class with the strap around the mid-back. Get that length, get that connection, and then you dive in, elbows apart. Inhale, come up and release. So as we pull the knees into a bent position, dragging them toward us, I'm going to lean back and hover and find the Valsa. Maybe straighten. So if you have the strap we had earlier, holding. So here's where beginners, if you want to go back to the strap and play here, the advanced folks now without the prop, can you feel this lifting? Drop the knees down and take a little twist with that knees over to the left. And then twisting to the right. Come forward and take the knees out. Take the feet together. Don't try to pull the feet toward you so much. Just be lazy. And then hands back, lift your hips toward the legs. If your knees are like this, it's okay. You can take the hands and push and let the knees try to come up in the wrong direction that you want to go. So you're tricking your knees and then you release them. You might get a little bit further. So once again, all this strap work is to feel that now that area of the mid-back and open. And then as we come into a forward fold, we might want to make sure that we're not just crushing the spine and the hips. We're keeping that length up. So the whole rib cage is lifting away from the pelvis and then coming forward. Lifting, inhale, and then coming forward. Lifting. So breath after breath, you take the posture. Inhaling, coming up, let's stretch the right leg long, Janu Shirshasana, and make sure the lower body is satisfied. We did all that preliminary work. And placing the hands by the hips, we get the lift. The lift is coming from the back ribs to lift the front, and then you cascade forward, either with strap hands, and then you lift against your bind. Feel this connection. And then you gently draw in. Coming up and find your strap around the front foot and take it into both hands, both strap ends into the right hand. And let's rotate away to the left. So you can do two things. You can take that fold again here and move from this pattern to this pattern. It's for the beginners. Otherwise, can you grab the strap end in the left hand and rotate right? Good, and let's switch. Left foot forward, right foot back. And to loop around the foot, keep the loop there. Take the hands to the hips, lift Lift the rib cage up, cascade over. Inhale against your bind, and exhale, release, grab the strap ends into left hand, rotate right. As you rotate, you're really extending from the left hip through to the strap. And then remember the motion of reaching on the diagonal and then reaching back. So we did this in Warrior 2 before we came into triangle pose. And then I could reach for both strap bands, advanced folks, and rotate the other way. So the ribs should be getting more open, but don't force it. And then release, take the strap aside, and we'll try reverse table. So let's glide the hips forward, take the feet hip width, and take the hands out, thumbs forward. Roll the chest open, the shoulder blade tips together. So this is the same action as the strap provided. And then exhale, the hips come forward. Try it a few times. Really tone the inner legs. It's good. So let's stretch our legs long and take our towel rolls again and do just a little bit of back bending now that we've opened up the heart. So you can stay with the light or the small towel roll. You can reconstruct something a little bit bigger. Depends on your back. But if you go narrow with the towel and you roll it up, you might get something that's about, more like 3 or 4 inches in diameter. I'm going to take that back to about a third of the way from the back into the mat and put the hands on it and lift the chest. Toning the legs. I'll bend the knees and slide the hips forward a little bit. If you haven't done this one with me before, take the hands off the towel roll, glide the shoulder blade tips, just like we did earlier, but now it's a little more intense. And now you're gonna take your fingers over your back of your skull, bring your forearms together, and glide the back of the head back to the floor. If it doesn't get there, you've got to reduce your towel roll. When it does, let the arms open to the sides, stretch the legs one at a time long, or you can bring the arms to a goalpost position. The legs, if they're straightened, are still a little bit attenuated. Bend the knees. Exhale, roll right. And remove the towel roll. And we're going to drop the knees and stack them to the left. And a right angle and open a twist to the right. You can hook your left fingers in the top knee crease. Once again, as we did earlier in class, it's possible to traction the low back and the hip by taking the left hand to the right hip and gently pushing it away. Those that want a deeper twist can straighten the legs and hold with a strap around both feet, or hold the big toes in your left hand. Push more through the upper leg, so push more through the right leg. And then let's switch sides, sliding the hips a little to the left, knees to right. Start with a right angle in the knees. Put the left
Decrease the right hand and roll the chest and the shoulder to the left. And you can back traction by taking your right hand to your upper left hip and push it away. You can go deeper, straightening the legs, grabbing the big toes and pushing through the upper leg a little more. And then rolling onto your back and taking Shavasana or any inversions. So I've showed you the plow against the wall, which is nice. Some of you know shoulder stand. Remember the plow against the wall to open the low back. The towel roll is used as you get pretty near your wall, at about 6 inches. And you roll back, take the feet against the wall, bending the knees to lift up and curl the spine. You take the towel roll right into the small of the back. You kind of push against your wall, give yourself a little scrub. And you can also come up to an easy inversion, taking the legs away from the wall, straight up, so that the natural arch of the low back supports, straightens legs in Viparita Karani. And because we did all that work with the strap around the mid-back to the feet, remember we had both extended legs in the strap, now it should feel pretty good.